downfall of corporate media is going to be a case study in which everyone in independent media, you, my audience, everyone is going to want to observe and take notes on because there's many things to talk about. It is a bloated whale's carcass. If anybody's heard the phrase a whale fall, it's when a large whale, such as a blue whale, humpback whale, all that kind of stuff, when it dies in the ocean, oh boy, it's a feeding frenzy. Sharks, little fish, big fish, everybody comes along to take a bite. And the big mess that is corporate media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News to some extent, CBS, ABC, all of them, they're all dying. And right now they are firing people. They're trying to become more leaner, more fitter, because they cannot maintain themselves. And the Associated Press says buyouts and some layoffs are ahead as it seeks to cut its workforce by a whopping 8%. Now, for those of you who think that's a low number, oh, it is not. This is devastating because this has been continuous and ongoing. We have been talking about the decline in views that MSNBC and CNN are getting. Well, everyone's going to be feeling the pain because the election cycle's over. And the thing is, corporate media, they got that big boost when Trump got elected in 2016. I mean, they were talking about him in the entire election cycle and during his 4 years. After he was defeated and Biden got into office, the party was over. Dare I say it, controversial statement here. Perhaps it would have been in the best interest of corporate media and the establishment media as a whole if Trump did get elected in 2020. But then again, whatever, it is what it is. He ran again in 2024 and he got reelected. But now they're not getting that boost again. And corporate media is in some trouble. And I said this because corporate media was hyping up Kamala Harris and the Democrats to get a big win. They were protecting Biden, saying that he wasn't senile. And the thing is, they lied. They didn't know what they were talking about. They were clowns, as they are, as they should be viewed as. So let's talk about the downfall of the Associated Press, because this is something we all need to pay attention to. So everybody, clean your ears, eyeballs, listen to this. The Associated Press says buyouts and some layoffs are ahead as it seeks to cut its workforce by 8%. As it stands right now, the Associated Press said Monday that it would begin offering buyouts and layoff selected employees, part of a plan to reduce the news outlet staff by about 8% and accelerate a transition to a digital-first organization. Oh, you're too late for that, baby. This kind of actually reminds, again, I have to keep bringing this show up. And I introduced it to Daniel. I even talked about it to the guys on Due Dissidence. It's called Succession. Folks, just trust me on it, okay? I cannot recommend it enough. Yes, all the characters in it are evil, but it describes the power of corporate media, who runs it. And there's a scene where one person lays off, I believe, about maybe 1,000 employees. I'm not going to tell you what season it is. Daniel will know what I'm referencing, but nonetheless, whatever, it is what it is. The move is part of what is expected to be a dispiriting end of a year period in the news industry, which is beset by business woes that go back years. Oh, baby, it goes back further than just years. The end of a busy presidential election cycle is also expected to accelerate reorganization plans. Oh, that means people being laid off, fired, and institutions and facilities being shut down. The Associated Press said those eligible for buyouts were to learn of the offer, which would include severance pay, partial health coverage for 18 months. Oh, good Lord. By the end of Monday, those whose positions are due to be eliminated will learn about their fates over the next few weeks. There's going to be I'm going to make this prediction. There's going to be a massive Zoom call or some kind of huge video conference call online, and 1,000 people will probably be fired by somebody sitting in a suit and tie. And it's going to be like this. Hold on. You want to see acting? Here's acting in 3, 2, 1. Now, all of you are going to pretend to be employees. And you know what? In the live stream chat, I want your reaction. So hang on, folks. Let's get ready for acting. Hi, everybody. My name is Billy Brannigan, and I am with the Department of Human Affairs and Regional Management and Hiring and Human Resources at the Associated Press. And if you are part of this conference Zoom call, I just wanted to say each one of you have done such a fantastic job contributing to the work ethic of the Associated Press. And I just want to let you guys know that as we are in the beginning of restructuring and reprocessing and rebuilding our network, it is time for us, all of us, to chip in and be available to rebuild and give the news to the American people. It is with a heavy heart and deep sadness that none of you will be part of this process, but each of you will be giving a severance package in due time, and each of you are to get an email of a certain point in time, which will tell you how to access your health care, which will range from 6 months to 18 months. I also want all of you to know that the severance pay will be delivered. However, each case will be viewed by a select committee. Now, until then, we will not be responding to emails, but we want to let you know that we are so grateful to have you all part of this team. All right, end the Zoom call for these jagoffs, okay? Tired of looking at these people. They're yelling at us. Thankfully, they're all muted. Am I still live? Great Pretend says, give me a freaking raise. I don't think so. So, anyways, let's continue on with this. However, let's continue. Once considered the world's largest news gathering organization, here's what's sad. It's the Associated Press that's even covering this. Once considered the world's largest news organization, the Associated Press no longer makes a claim and does not reveal the size of its staff. It's become wizard and impotent. As a result, it was impossible to say on Monday how many people would be affected. A lot. The AP said less than half of the anticipated cuts would involve its news employees, with the bulk happening within the United States. Oh, goodness gracious, Cretaceous, learn the code. The News Media Guild said that 120 of its members would be offered buyouts. The AP, without giving an estimate, said there would be fewer job cuts than that among the union members. Oh, for years, news executives have had to make cutbacks because solutions to their business problems have been proven elusive, said Gabriel Kahn, who helps run the media, economics, and entrepreneurship program at the USC Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. Oh, border up that school, baby. Ain't nobody going now. It has become even tougher in the past couple of years as the work of journalists has become much less visible on social media due to changes in search algorithms and artificial intelligence, he said. First of all, I'm going to explain that. That's because big corporate media muscled its way in to go after YouTube content creators and everything else way, way, way back before in 2015. That's what happened. Okay. And when big media moved in, they thought they were the cat's meow, and the algorithm favored them. Okay. And you want to know what the response was for the online community? People didn't want to see corporate media, yet it was always selected in the algorithm search. You kept forcing people to like you, and people said F off. Then all of a sudden, because corporate media got fat and happy off the algorithm, CNN, being big-headed, not realizing it's a butterface, decided to think, oh, I'm so fancy, I'm going to make my own streaming service. Lasted only for 1 month, $250 million down the drain. Stupid bastards. And again, the whole problem is because of that, independent media, real independent journalists and commentators suffered the most. It's all right. I'm not mad, though. They pulled the plug out of the bathtub and watching the water go down the drain. Oh, you did that yourself. The Associated Press, which prides itself on being an unbiased news source, offers news stories, pictures, video, and audio, and interactive content direct to consumers via the website AssociatedPressNews.com. But the bulk of its business comes from selling its journalism to other news organizations that use it. Jimmy Dore caught that way back when he was with TYT when covering the Democratic primary on how all the journalists were copy pasting all their articles. In fact, we did a story about it not too long ago on how all the articles look the same, or either that. I think we've all seen the video of how corporate media spews out the same talking points over and over again and over and over again. Earlier this year, two major news chains, Gannett and McCarthy, said that they would stop buying the news from the Associated Press, and in Gannett's case, ending a relationship that lasted more than a century. The Associated Press had diversified its revenue stream in recent years, including accepting philanthropic funding, but is still hurt by the news industry's overall woes. Oh, woe is me. We all know this is a time for transformation in the media sector, said Daisy Versenham. AP's president and CEO said in a note to staff members sent earlier Monday morning, our customers, both who they are and what they need from us, are changing rapidly. This is why we focus on delivering a digital-first news report. We now need to accelerate on this path. In broad stroke, that means an increased emphasis on visual journalism, photos and video and digital content that incorporates them into storytelling. Versingham is not available for an interview, and AP spokeswoman said this is being covered by the Associated Press. So it's the Associated Press covering the downfall of the Associated Press. Isn't that beautiful? AP remains a central part of the news industry's ecosystem, particularly when it comes to U.S. elections. During its coverage earlier this month, the AP had unprecedented usage of its live video, election data, visuals, and interactive products. The AP said it had reached a tentative deal with its union to offer buyouts, but that is a subject to ratify by its members. Sadly, it is apparent what is needed, said Vin Chiru, president of the News Media Guild. They've been seeking revenue for a while and have had difficulty getting it. Chiru said it's unfortunate what's going on, but everyone can see what is going on at other news organizations across the country. Corporate media is dying, folks. How do you feel about corporate media dying? Type your thoughts in the comment section below, because I said this was going to happen. And they got big-headed. They got bloated. And hold on, Torwin said it best. It's a threat to our democracy. 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 It's showing how corporate media has failed in its job. And the thing is, they did it to themselves and the politicians too, as we have learned firsthand. Thanks to Citizens United, the McCutcheon decision, where money is speech and corporations are people, our politicians are owned by the top 1%. But before Citizens United, there was this little known president. You never heard of him, a Democrat in the 90s, first name Bill, last name Clinton, who signed the Telecoms Act. Well, that's when the vultures came out flying. The venture capitalists, the vulture capitalists, the venture capitalists, the vulture capitalists came out flying and started consuming and feasting on the media ecosystem, to where now 4 to 5 major corporations control all the media here in the United States. But see, the thing is, they got too fat, they got too bloated, and now they're like the dinosaurs, and they're facing an extinction level event. No one's consuming their product because everybody knows they're being lied to. I mean, corporate media hasn't done its job because the media is owned by institutions who only care about a quick profit and not informing or empowering the American people. See, media, journalism should be the force of state, holding our politicians and these people in positions of power accountable for their crimes or abuse of power. But no, same people who control our politicians control our media. And now they're wondering, hey, how come nobody trusts the Democratic Party or Republican Party? How come no one trusts our institutions? How about no one listens to the media? It's because people from boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Z, and eventually even Gen Alpha, they're all getting it now. They all realize, hey, we're all being lied to. And again, recent reports are coming out that X is being used more as a news source. So take that, Blue Sky, which, by the way, I know a couple people saying, hey, Kit, you should check out Blue Sky. I don't want to visit Twitter of 2017, okay? That's what Blue Sky is. And the Associated Press, very similar, like BSDNC or CNN, are going away. They're being cut down. They're dying off. They can't adapt. I'm going to make this prediction. The last of the corporate media outlets will probably be Fox News. That is my prediction. If I'm wrong about that, fine. But they're all going to die out eventually. The way in which Americans are now getting their information now is, again, more rapid, more fast, and we as citizens, as citizen journalists, need to take up the social responsibility of informing and empowering each other. And I made this prediction that this would happen. I knew this would happen, corporate media dying off. And I'm proud to say that we here at Hard Lens Media and everybody else in my audience and all of our colleagues in independent media have been rightfully and correctly pointing out its overall hypocrisy. It is dying under its own weight. They did this to themselves. It's unfortunate that a lot of people are going to be losing their livelihoods, but just remember, there's a reason why people left. There's a reason why people are no longer listening. And you have to look at the top. So to the CEOs, to the people in charge of all these media, institutions, eat crow and F off. And if you can't do that, F off. And if you can't do that, F off. My favorite Logan Roy quote. I got a lot of favorite Logan Roy quotes. Succession. It's a good TV show. I recommend it. If you want to know why corporate media is the way it is, check out Succession.